Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Anna, and as you know, I am on the Cambridge Weight Plan and I am tracking my progress, and I'm using this channel as a way of sharing my learnings and my experience and what I go through. And I typically do one video a week where I share with you how much weight I've lost, my total weight loss to date, and my reflections on the week on the weight loss progress. But today I wanted to do just something a little different and an extra video to what I normally do because, today's the last day of the month, 30th of September. We start a new month as of tomorrow, and it's the start of the week, and it feels like it's a very good point to transition from where you are to your next goals. And something I haven't shared before is that on Mondays, I always set myself a little bit of I either do on Sunday night or Monday morning. I will do a review of my progress to date. I have a little planner that I keep with my weight loss journal, all of my weight loss today, etc. And that's over and above what I'm doing on Cambridge. So I am keeping track of what I'm doing on Cambridge and what the weight loss is with my consultant, and that's the weight that I share with you once I go and I'll get weight and I'll share that. But I also keep track of where I am with my weight at home. Every Monday I weigh myself first thing in the morning with nothing on, like we all like to be at our lightest point, and just check where I am. And I've been doing that since the start of May. So I've been vlogging since June, but what you don't know is that I actually started my my kind of personal goal journey of losing all the weight that I want to lose back at the start of May, before I even started Cambridge. At that time, I started with, I tried to do Slim Fast shakes, and they weren't the most successful for me. I did lose 3 kilos, so that's, 6 kilos? Oh my god, 3 kilos. I'm always doing this. I need to start looking at that. 6.7 pounds, so almost 7 pounds. Doing Slim Fast, and it's the usual kind of water loss weight that you get when you have a lot of weight to lose. So it was okay, but in a whole month, 3 kilos, having nothing but shakes and a meal means that it wasn't the right plan for me, and I was suffering with a lot of hunger and cravings. Which led me to look for a different alternative diet, and that's how I came across Cambridge. Anyway, all of that being said, what I have been doing since the start of May is setting myself goals and then tracking them. So what I wanted to touch on today is just on this point of how are you setting your weight loss goals for yourself, and are you setting yourself up for success in terms of how you're thinking about them and how you are planning them. And I guess I wanted to share my process in case that's useful for anyone, but really you need to try to make it work for you. So I'm hoping that this is either useful or it sparks your own thoughts in terms of how you can apply it for yourself if that's something that you're looking to do. So when it comes to your goals, I don't know about you, but I am somebody who I guess I have 2 modes. One is super ambitious, where I want to achieve loads. I set myself really stretching targets, really big objectives and goals and things that I want to do on the one hand. On the other, I am equally almost afraid of voicing it or saying it out loud, because once I do, I commit to it, and there's this inner fear of failure and I'm not going to be able to achieve them, so therefore should I really set myself such a stretching target, because if I don't achieve it, then I'm only going to feel worse about it later, so should I really be going about this? So I have this dual internal conflict going on at all times of wanting to achieve and then all this fear of failure. So back in May, when my weight was at its biggest and I had reached full saturation point, I was like, no, that's it, I want to lose the weight. That's when I set myself the target of I want to lose 11 stone, which is over 70 kilos, which is a huge amount of weight to lose, but that's what I knew I had to set. And this is not me being completely unrealistic. This is to bring me back within the, when you think about BMI, is to put me in the top side of the healthy range of BMI. So I'm not even being super ambitious in terms of wanting to be within health range. I just did not want to be in the morbidly obese, but I did want to be at health range. So that's how I came with my 11 stone target, which I know to some people it sounds completely crazy and outrageous. But I am going out from a health perspective and a realistic point of view. So that's how it started. But, when you start and you say 11 stones or 70 kilos in my case, because I work in kilos, it's a huge amount of weight to lose. I mean, it is effectively a whole person. So I want to lose a whole person of myself, which right now when you see me, and I have gone down a lot, seems a little bit preposterous. I am almost at I'm not quite halfway yet. I've lost 4.5 stone, so I'm getting closer to that, and therefore it seems even more preposterous now. I still have about 6.5 stone to go, at the very least 6, so there is still a lot of weight to go, and it's something that is going to take me some time. So I knew that I had to break things down into different chunks. But what I realized is that I needed to break it down even more. So think about when you're thinking about your goals, don't be hindered by fear, but allow yourself to set goals that are realistic for you, even if they are stretching, just to make sure that it's something you go for. For me, that's something that helps me. I like to have the end game in mind. If you get overwhelmed by that, maybe you need to think about, I'm going to take things one step at a time. So I'm not going to think about the overall, but if I lose 1 stone, that's going to keep me going, because I think, okay, then my next target is the next stone. So if you prefer a little at a time, then think about how you need to set goals for yourself. I prefer to have big picture in mind. What is it that I'm going for? And then think about, what do I need to do to make that happen? So with that in mind, then I went, okay, well, I had started with what I was, so I wanted to bring it down to a certain level. So I set myself an initial goal for the first kind of 3 months, and then I worked out how much would be the average that I would lose, whether it was with SlimFast or with Cambridge once I started. And I worked out that it was about 1 stone a month. So when you think about that and all the weight that I want to lose, and bearing in mind that things slow down after a period of time, I knew that it would take me probably the better half of a year to really lose the weight. But understanding that then you need to go into maintenance, then you need a second year to consolidate and to maintain that weight that you have achieved. So being aware that it's going to be a long-term process if you have a huge amount of weight to lose like I did and like I do, it's good. But when you think about this from a 2 years, even a whole year, is a long time to be waiting for that. So you need to break things down. So I like that on the Cambridge diet, because you have step 1 or sole source. It breaks it down into 12 weeks, so first 3 months. You break it down into terms, which is quite manageable. And then you think about months, so you think that you should be aiming for about 1 stone a month, give or take. So that also helps to break things down. But for me personally, I felt that I needed something more tangible to keep me honest, to keep me focused, to keep me tracking. So that's where my weight loss journal came in, which I'm not going to show you the content. This is what it is. It's combination weight loss with me trying to do some doodles, with me putting some reflections, how I'm getting on. But the one thing that I do is, for every month, I set myself a target of this is my weight at the start of the month. This is my target, the total weight that I want to lose in the whole month. And then I keep track of what was starting weight, what was end weight, and then what's the total loss. And then I keep track of that every month. But I also do that every week. So I'm not limited and conditioned by the target that I set for myself. I go based on what I think is reasonable and achievable. And I have, as the months have gone by, I've got more realistic with it. Started off being quite ambitious, because when you start on Cambridge, you lose a lot of weight quite quickly, and therefore you get a little bit greedy with how much weight you want to lose. So I now set myself a target. My first 3 months on Cambridge, I set myself a weekly goal of about 1.5 kilos a week. And so again, times 2.23, that is £3, 3.25 pounds a week. And then every month I would go for that stone kind of mark, whether it was 6 kilos, 6.5, maybe 5.5, somewhere along those lines. And I set myself that every month, and I set myself a target every week, and it could be 1 week is 1.5 kilos or £3, 3.5, other weeks, because whatever might be happening is more stressful or time of month for women and all that kind of stuff. Then you may just set yourself a kilo or £2, something along those lines. But at least it helps me to keep focus of what's realistic, what do I have on this week, what am I going to be able to achieve. And then at the end of the week, either I try to log how I'm feeling every day, but if I don't have time, at least overall for the week. And at the end of the week, I take stock. So every Monday I'll go in, I'll weigh myself first thing in the morning, and then I'll go back to my journal and say, this is how much weight I've lost. This is what my current weight is, this is how much weight I've lost, and I take time to reflect how I'm doing against my target. Normally it's the weekly one, but on a day like today, when we're about to transition from September into October, it's a monthly target. And the reason that kind of spurred me to do this video is that I wasn't expecting to, on my first month back after going to step 2 and coming back on, to have done as well as I did. So I, in the last month, where is it? So I set myself a target of 5 kilos and which is £11, and I have lost 5.8 in the end, which is 13 pounds, effectively just short of 13 pounds. So I have smashed my target for September, which is amazing news. I am so happy with it, and it's another way of keeping you on track, because you've got your weekly, yes, I've got to lose weight, and then I know how much I've lost in terms of total going for Cambridge, through the different stages of Cambridge. But it's so good to equally be able to take stock of how much weight I've lost, and how well I've done in the last month, and it just gives you a different kind of boost on your progress. So I will keep on sharing what my formal Cambridge weight loss is, but just to give you a view of how I have been doing from the start, because like I said, I started back in May for that first month with Slim Fast before I started Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers, what am I talking about? Before I started Cambridge. So I've been thinking about, I was doing Weight Watchers before that, and it really wasn't the right plan for me, because I was just looking at how to work around so I could eat more. Anyway, long story short, so the weight loss from weight at home, not with Cambridge, from the start of May, I have lost a total, my calculator, a total of 32 kilos, which is 71 pounds, which is 5 stone. So whilst in Cambridge with my Cambridge consultant, I haven't lost the full 5 stone yet. I know that since the start of May I have, which gives me another boost, because I know that in a couple of weeks I'll catch up with that. But it's almost like you've got that coming up. But I'm also 3 kilos away from reaching my halfway point, which will be about the 5.5 stone. And I could not be happier. I am so close to halfway, and he's moving from the 4th month into the 5th month, which makes perfect sense, because I said that it's going to be about a year journey. So when I started back in May or in June, it was such a long way away, but through habit, through consistency, through doing the plan, if you stick to it, you will see the weight coming off. And let me just share with you what I've been losing every month. So So in May, I lost the 3 kilos, which I have shared. Then I moved into, let me see, June. And in June, I lost, it was the first month on Cambridge. So June was an amazing month. And this is why it was setting very ambitious expectations. I lost 11.4 kilos on my first month, which is 25 pounds, which is unreal. It is absolutely unreal to say that. Divided by 14, that's 1.8 stone. Then, so that was June, which was amazing. Then July came, and if I can find it in here. So July, I should have marked this beforehand. In July, I lost a total of 4.9 kilos, which is also fantastic. So that's 10.9, so effectively 11 pounds in July, which is also amazing. But as you can see, not as much as the first month. And I had thought that I would lose 6 kilos. I lost 4.9. I was still delighted with it. I'm not going to complain. So then that was July. Then August came, and I'm sure that all these flicking pages is going to sound really loud, so apologies for that. But then August came, and I set myself a target of 5 kilos. But as you know, I was away on holidays and I was moving a lot, so I lost 7.1 kilos, which is definitely over a stone in a month, and I was super delighted. So that was great. And now September has come and gone, and it was my birthday in September, and birthday and all, I stuck to my plan. I've gone through it. And in the month of September, I have lost 5.8 kilos, which I think I did say before, but it's the 12.9 pounds. So, it's little things like that keep you going. It's little things like that keep you focused. I set myself another target of 5 kilos for October so I can continue to lose the weight. But it's just important because A, it keeps you focused. B, it forces you to think about what you're going to do through the week. It helps you to break down the task. But I find that it's not just about having the big dreams and having the right plan and just break it down into chunks. I find the habit of also setting yourself the target for the week and tracking and measuring, then being able to look back and check just gives you that extra boost, and it helps you to take stock of just how far you've come already. So if you're losing weight like I am, and whether you have a lot or a little to lose, just find a way of capture that and celebrate every little achievement, because every single one of those pounds counts. Every single kilo makes a big difference, and regardless of whether you have a lot or a little, it's all an improvement for yourself and your health. So keep at it. Anyway, I hope that this is helpful. Thank you so much for joining me and for watching this. Please, if you haven't done so already, do subscribe. I will continue to make content like this and share how I'm getting on with Cambridge, and I will look to continue to share more and more of different tips and what I'm finding useful. So if you have any comments or any questions, please leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you, and I will be back around Thursday, Friday with my latest update of how I've done on the Cambridge diet with my consultant. All the best, have a wonderful week and have a wonderful month. Talk to you soon. Bye.